Amy in Rockville, Maryland. Hey, Amy, what's on your mind today?
Hi. I just have a kind of a small point, but I've been listening to you for a long time, and I remember you talking about what your experience with the SDS.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying that the infiltrators were the ones who were the first to suggest violence.
Not always, but on more than one occasion that I know of for a fact, particularly after we finally sued the police and got the documents. Yes.
Oh, okay. So
there were also, let me just qualify that, Amy, because I think I know where you're going with this.
Right.
There were also a couple of people. There was one guy who was called himself a diehard Trotskyite. I knew him quite well. He really believed that stuff. And there was another guy who I'm not sure how I could describe his politics, maybe Maoism on steroids or something. And they were into violence. One of them ended up going off with the Weather Underground people. Another woman I knew, Linda Evans, she ended up with Weather Underground. She ended up getting arrested. I think Bill Clinton pardoned her, actually, or she got out during the end of his administration. But so there were some true believers who were doing stuff that the rest of us thought was over the top. As well. But back to you. I think you wanted to talk about Nevada, right?
Right, sure. I'm kind of surrounded by a lot of relatives who are like just furious at these terrible Bernie people who are just, horrible and violent and everything. And I'm just wondering, do we have any evidence that all these people who made threatening calls to Roberta Lang were Bernie supporters? Do we know who these people are?
Yeah, actually, interestingly, I'd say there's three different pieces to this that are worthy of mention. First of all, with regard to the people who threatened Roberta Lang, she disclosed the phone numbers of the people who texted her and called her to at least two different reporters, and Rolling Stone, and there was another one. And I read a couple of them on the air earlier in the week. And they called, and yeah, they were Bernie supporters. Most of them were not in Nevada. In fact, I don't think they found any of them in Nevada. They were people from out of state who had been watching this on Twitter and online, and they were just furious. And when somebody posted her phone number on Twitter, they just, impulsively did it. Some of them were teenagers. Some of them were people in their 20s. All of them seemed genuinely apologetic. But yeah, I think it was over enthusiasm. The second thing is the violence meme seems to have originated with John Ralston, who is a respected Nevada reporter, and he was the one who promoted the idea that there was violence there and the chairs were thrown. And it turns out that there was no violence whatsoever. I went on Twitter and I said, "Can anybody show me a single chair being thrown?" Nobody could. I thought about offering a cash reward, but it just it seemed like it would have seemed like a stunt. But there, and now there's a consensus. There was no violence there. There was no intimidation. Barbara Boxer was quoted as saying she feared for her life. But now there's video of her walking off the stage, blowing kisses to people. And when somebody yells at her, she flips them the bird. It doesn't look to me like somebody who's running for her life. I think I think the whole narrative was blown way out of proportion. And frankly, I think it was blown way out of proportion on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, because you had two elections happening on Tuesday. And this seemed like the kind of story that would work to the advantage of the Clinton campaign and to the disadvantage of the Sanders campaign. And whether it was the Clinton campaign or simply Clinton partisans or Clinton partisans in the press, or just people in the press who are looking for, hey, if it bleeds, it leads. Oh, boy, a juicy story. John Ralston said it. It must be true. Ralston has since walked it back, by the way, to his credit. But this meme that it was wild and violent and all that stuff, really just went, rocket right across the press. It's still being quoted to this day. I heard it yesterday on NPR. The reporter, said there was violence. And no, there wasn't. There wasn't. So that, those three things I think all need to be just on the record.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.